Hello, my friends. Welcome. Welcome to my official return video. For today, we're going to be reading a 2-sentence horror story written by me, inspired by Reddit user Frago_Bago sentence. Quick thanks to Feisty. I hope that's how you say that. Thank you for the art reference. And without further ado, turn off your lights, grab some snacks, and get comfy. Life as a mother began to grow old. Having to live under the same routine was getting boring. Don't get me wrong, I love my life and my children, but being a single mother doesn't leave much room for exciting adventures. That was until the day our routine was broken. I started the day off as usual. I woke up 30 minutes before the kids left for school, so I could prepare myself for work, but to also make everyone breakfast. As I entered my modern, muted kitchen, filled with titanium appliances, I turned the television on that was mounted upon the wall. I always have to have the news on in the mornings, in case school updates occur, but to also prepare for Mother Nature's mood swings. As I clicked the television on, I skipped through the channels as I began to gather my ingredients. For breakfast, we were having simple oats with fruit and yogurt, a separated parfait, if you will. As I finished all 3 bowls of oats, I hear my dearest children awaken. "We're having oats again, Mom?" my daughter whined. "Yes, again, unless you want to cook something." She stopped her contesting and sat at the large glass dining table. My son slowly waltzed to the table and sat down next to her. In the distance, I hear sirens wailing through the streets. Normally, the sound wouldn't faze me, but this time felt different. The repeating cry echoed several times for quite some time, suggesting that many police cars were traveling near. In the area we live, sirens were a usual occurrence, but never at this amount. I shift my attention to the news. In that moment, I didn't notice. I should have been paying more attention. What I did notice was a reporter standing in front of the camera. Her pale, red face began to visibly sweat through the screen. Her blonde, ashy hair seemed uneasy, as if it were trying to stand up. She was trying to stay calm at whatever it was, but it was obvious that something was wrong. That something wasn't right. She tried hiding it, but her best wasn't good enough. As we finished our daily breakfast, I sent my children off to school per usual. Their eager attitudes to go to school showed bright on their rich, brown faces. I clean everything up and head to my home office for work. As I sit at my computer, I hear the news in the background.
"Remain calm. If you notice anything strange, call law enforcement immediately. Everything is under control."
As the broadcast echoed through the home, I couldn't help but wonder what could possibly be happening. The news is always so quick to report on stories, yet from what I heard and saw, they have been very silent about what was truly going on. This can't be good. Hours began to pass rapidly as I worked from my bedroom office. As schools began to let out, I sat on my porch waiting for my children, per usual, but for some reason, they were nowhere to be found. With every passing hour, the setting sun reminded me of how wrong everything was. I quickly ran inside to grab my phone in hopes of reaching the school in case there was a bus issue we weren't aware of. It was unlike them to not notify me about any changes. As panic began to set in, I overhear the news broadcast once more.
At a middle school today. Can't seem to identify the suspects. Their motives are unknown at the moment. The best thing to do is lock your doors. Do not let them in by any means, no matter how convincing these two individuals are.
With those final words, the power burst off violently, creating a shriek throughout the house. My heart began to pound as I trembled in fear in my kitchen. I grab a large kitchen knife for self-defense in case the worst is to come. Just then, a knock upon my door startles me. I hear from the other side,
Mommy!
"Oh, thank God." I think to myself, letting out a fearful cry.
Mommy, please hurry, let us in.
Listening closely, I noticed something peculiar. My daughter's voice sounded empty, an unexplainable void of emotion that didn't match her pleas. My motherly instincts began to kick in, but something felt off.
Please.
I flip my phone and illuminate the dim room with my flash.
in.
As the sun began to set, it caused my powerless home to appear completely pitch black.
Mom!
Walking towards the door, I notice my porch light is somehow still on.
Open.
I decided to take a peek at my kids and hopefully calm my doubts.
Mommy? Open the door.
Their cries grew more aggressive as the time passes. Their pleads turn to demands. As I inspect them, I notice their torn, ragged skin and clothes splattered with blood. I heard myself repeating over and over again in my own head. My kids were begging for my help, and I stood there contemplating the validity of their cries. What if it really was them? How could it not be? I unlocked the doorknob. As I held my fingers over the lock, I froze. Looking closer at their faces, something seems off. Something isn't right. Looking closer at their eyes are subtle holes cut around them. Looking at their chins sends shivers down my spine. There's bloody skin hanging from their faces. Inspecting their gruesome arms and hands revealing a different complexion in comparison to their dark, velvet brown color. I quickly back away, dialing 911 as fast as I can. As I run to my room, the sound of something extremely heavy begins to bang against my door. As I sit here, writing my potential last words before my attempt of escaping to the police station, I notice that the banging has stopped. It might be too late. I hope you guys enjoyed that story I made, and big thanks to Froggo_Bago on Reddit for the sentence, and Feisty for allowing me to kind of steal, I guess, their anatomy as reference. So big thanks to both of those awesome creators. Um, I know I say I'm gonna come back so often, but this time I really do want to come back and get into creative content. I really don't have an excuse anymore. Now that I have breaks in my schedule, I'm able to balance my day job as well as doing creative things. So hold me to it. I really want to get back into making content. Um, so yes, if you guys want to submit your own two-sentence horror stories, you guys can leave those in the comments for these kinds of spooky videos, whether it's creepypasta readings and illustratings, or two-sentence horror stories or something scary like that. Go ahead and leave your stories in the comments. This channel is going to be getting rebranded pretty soon. This is going to be a one-stop shop for all my entertainment purposes for content creating. So I don't need like 15 different channels because I want to do everything. This would be like a one-stop shop. So we'll have gaming, art, you name it. And I'll keep you guys updated on what's next to come. And you guys can tell me and let me know what you guys want to see and what's fun for all of us to enjoy. Um, so yes, I really hope you guys enjoy this story. And leave a comment, let me know. And I hope you guys stay healthy.